What's going on, beautiful Facebook world? It's the being known as Shanice Star. Coming all up in your space to interrupt the Indeed programming taking place. It is that moment in time for Perceptions Live. I do trust that everyone is experiencing a super duper dope amazing evening. Shout out to those of you who will be joining me live, and shout out to those of you who will be catching the replay. Those of you who are catching the replay, I appreciate you. For those of you who have not been tuning in, we come here. The goal is every single day to give energy to perceptions. My boo. The other women in my bed. So we come live here to vibe on perceptions. Blessings to those of you who have been joining us over the years for Perceptions Wine by Candlelight Dialogue. This is somewhat what it's like, except on social media, and everyone else is really not chiming in real time. Yet again, it's to give energy and light to perceptions. Perceptions has been a blessing in so many people's lives. As they've shared over the years. And again, Perceptions is not about you coming here to be all up in my business with regard to my life's experiences, yet for you to tune in and possibly be triggered to think about your own perceptions, peep your own reflections, catch an example or two here or there, trigger or two here or there, a seed here or there. So yeah, that's what this is about. So let me see who might be available to be live and in color with me, with us. And again, for those of you who are catching the replay, peace, love, and light. Shout out to those of you who have invested in purchasing the book. Those of you who have gifted the book to others. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I am a firm believer still in tangible books. I am a firm believer in highlighting. I'm a firm believer in reading. And I think that we should definitely buy gifts that actually matter. Gifts that are an asset to assist people with regard to how they're showing up in life. And I do believe and know from other people's experiences that Perceptions is definitely assisting people with regard to how they're showing up in life. All right, so let's get to it. So the way this goes, first of all, if you haven't been rocking with us, catch some of the previous lives, right? Go check it out. Yet I am about to flip through the pages. And as I've mentioned before, if you have perceptions and you have a page or a perception you want me to like vibe on, like you can drop it and be like, yo, Shanice, vibe on page 192. Yo, Shanice, vibe on page 233. Or you can just shout out a page, and that's a page I'll go to. Because that's what I'm doing right now is I'm flipping through the book without me consciously looking, and I'm going to stop at a page, and I'm going to read one or two perceptions from that page. So again, if you want to drop a page number, for those of you who are live with me, that would be fun. And I will read something from those pages. If I don't see a page, I'm just going to do what I do. Boop, 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 boop. And I know things are on delay. You don't have to have the book to say a page number. FYI. Stop. I just stopped. Because nobody dropped a page. So I just stopped. All right. I just posted about that. I'm definitely read on that. Wow. Oh, by the way, I'm on page 268 and 269. All right. I got quite a few. Quite a few. So like I said, next time, beautiful people, so not for this live, but for a future live, just drop a page number. Drop a page number, and that's where I'm going to read from. But for right now, I'm going to read from where I landed. And page 268. Remember, listening to my perception doesn't mean that it's up to you to say if it's good, bad, right, wrong, or even if you agree. The key is to listen to the perception and think about your own perceptions about the perception. It's to invoke thought and to think about our sponsoring thoughts and to reflect in our own lives regarding how we think and feel about that perception, right? So it's not about right or wrong. It's not about I agree, I disagree. It is about, how do I think about this? And is it showing up in my life? Is it showing up in my character? Is it showing up in my development? It's meant to be a reflectionary tool. All right, so here we go. First one. Also, for those who never read the book, there may be plenty of perceptions here that I no longer agree with. That's the beautiful part about perceptions, right? I may not agree with it anymore. That's the beautiful part of it. So again, here we go. Living in love and light doesn't necessarily mean that you believe everything is right, in quotes. For some, it just means that you accept what is and focus on love and light. Now, how can we utilize this? I know for me personally, I don't remember exactly when I wrote that. Yet I know for me, I can remember our In Your Face movement regarding prisoner awareness, right? We started that movement very angry, like very, very angry. And as we started to grow and ascend, we started to focus on love and light. And we got so much more done when we shifted our attention to love and light. Now, that doesn't mean that we now think that we thought everything was now correct with the justice system, quote unquote. It just means we chose to focus on love and light. We chose to focus on solutions instead of problems. So sometimes people can think, oh, because you're so love and light and you're so postured up and positive that you think that you don't see what's going on in the world, right? That you're not paying attention to what's happening. First thing I'll say is, for me, that's absolutely correct. I don't focus on a lot of the ills going on in the world because I understand programming, imagery a bit too much for me to focus on that shit. For me to constantly be looking at the news, reposting stuff, listening to the radio, So the key here is, it doesn't mean that we think everything is right. And again, it's up to you to determine what right is. Yet, because we're full of love and light, it doesn't mean that we're walking around with our heads in clouds. It just means that we choose to focus on the love and light energy. We choose to focus on solutions. We choose to celebrate. We understand the laws, if you will, of energy and spirituality and being mindful of that in which we give our attention to. It doesn't mean that we do not believe that it exists. It doesn't mean that we are naive to it. It just means, we just focusing on love and light. But it doesn't mean that we think everything is right? So that's that perception. I encourage you again, as you listen to it, think about how you feel regarding love and light, watching the news, listening to the radio, etc., etc. Next perception, moving on to 269. This one is funny, right? As it relates to those who gossip about those they rock with, right? This is in, parentheses. If you can't find something nice to say about someone, say nothing. That's like in a quote. Well, how about if you can't find something nice to say, why are they in your association anyway? It's amazing. The people that keep people around them and they don't got nothing nice to say about these people. It's like, why are you with them in the first freaking place? Right? So if you have nothing to say nothing at all. Well, if you have nothing nice to say, why are you even around them? Again, this relates to associations. Next perception. Quotes. I don't rock fake name brand knockoff shit. And this is me replying. So does wearing someone else's quote unquote real name make you real? Batting my eyes in honor of Kim Sulleth. Right? And again, that definitely is a huge reflectionary too, especially this holiday season where people like, I don't rock the fake stuff. My shit is real. It's real. Real compared to real in whose book? Real what? I can remember years ago when I would cut labels out of my clothing because I didn't want to be caught up in whose labels of clothing that I'm actually wearing. But so you wearing something real makes you real. You wearing a knockoff makes you fake. You know, sometimes we don't think about the things we freaking thinking about, right? So that's that perception. Next time you want to judge someone who's wearing something that's not quote unquote real because you place so much value on someone else's name instead of your own daggone name. See, that's what I mean about the beneath the surface, where it's like, wow, you put so much value on somebody else's name and you don't even have nearly as much value on your own daggone name. How about you go get a Post-it and a Sharpie and write your name on it and then staple it inside of all of your freaking clothing? You know, again, it's beneath the surface. Beneath the surface. Yet again, many people, due to their level of personal development, character development, it's easier to place value on someone else's name than to actually develop some type of self-worth and healthy self-esteem. So again, triggers are all around us. Sometimes I just look and listen to some people and ask myself, are these people even in love with each other? Or are they simply comfortable with one another? May that be a reflectionary question for us to utilize in our own situations, our own interactions, our own situationships, or whatever the hell you want to call them. Like, is it really love? It's kind of like, can I even see my future with you, or am I only seeing my past and memories? Right? Yet again, oh, pardon me, my shawl is falling. 1 second. Yet again, some of us aren't even taught to ask the questions, right? We're just taught to be. When you find yourself not liking someone or feeling a certain kind of way about them, ask yourself, self, did this person do something to me? Or are these feelings and thoughts as a result of what someone else has said about this person? Yeah, if some people would just pause within that one right there. The moment we feel ourselves feeling a certain type of way about somebody, it's like, pause for 1 second. What issue have I even had with this person directly? Beneath the surface. Again, how are we showing up in our relationships? Do I even have an issue with this person? Or am I regurgitating, past memory files of things that I've heard, right? Do I actually have an issue with this person? It's kind of like, I remember a couple of years ago, it might even be in this book, where people would say, if you got beef with them, I got beef with them. And quite frankly, I'm not on that level of maturity or immaturity. Like, nah, you got beef with them. That has nothing to do with me. But everybody's different. Everyone basically is different with where they're at in their personal development and their character development. People show up differently in different relationships. Shit happens. People have different feelings on different days. People end up being thermometers instead of thermostats. And it's a shame how we chalk relationships because someone else got some issues. It's like, your own people is fucked up. They not even working on themselves. And so you're not going to deal with this person because your people ain't dealing with them. And you're not even paying attention that your own people ain't working on themselves or within themselves. They're not even working on their character and their personal development. So again, it's just for you to be, you and I both to be able to be like, okay, at least I know what I'm working with. That's your mindset. Okay. Right. So again, we vibe with people not to change people's minds or even to agree, but it's like, I just want to see how you think. And I see how you think now. Thank you very much. Right? So again, how can that perception help you within your own interactions? And again, a lot of these perceptions is not going to fall on, fertile ground because not many people are willing to pick up the mirror in the first daggone place, and really self-inspect. So I also get that. All right, I'm going to share this one because it's along the same thread. Be mindful of be mindful of gossiping about I meant sharing. That's what I have in the book, right? Any issues you may be having in one inner circle with another inner circle, for it may affect the views people have of one another, leaving all circles to soon be contaminated. My grandmama, wherever she might be right now in the universe, told me a long time ago, baby, my grandmother didn't talk like that, but that's how I hear it in my head right now. Baby, everybody's best friend got another best friend. Now, you don't got to agree with that. I don't have to agree with that. But it makes you want to think like, right? It's kind of like the saying about if people will talk about people to you, they'll talk about you to other people, that whole kind of thing, right? So just be mindful. Not everybody knows how to be neutral. Not everybody knows how to allow you to express yourself and to vent and to not let their views be contaminated by your experiences. Not everybody knows how to do that. Hence, we have to be mindful about us sharing our ills or what's happening in our relationships if the other party doesn't know how to be neutral. If the other party, is not even interested in maturity 101. So, be mindful of that, right? Just be mindful. Just be mindful. Last one. Some people just need to know I love you. I just can't rock with you. Right? That's just that perception. Some people just need to know I love you. I care about you. However, I just can't rock with you. Some people get it confused, right? It's kind of like, I give the example of like, because I understand your possible dysfunction or how you grew up, that doesn't mean I'm going to allow that shit into my life. That doesn't mean I'm allowed that into my life. Yeah, I understand how you grew up and what happened and why you are the way you are. That doesn't mean I'm going to put up with it. Yeah, right. I forgive you. I totally forgive you. That doesn't mean I'm letting you back in. And because I didn't let you back in, that doesn't mean I don't forgive you or that I'm bitter, right? As Toya mentions, healthy boundaries. And the same thing, because I love you, that does not mean that I'm going to rock with you, right? Love and like are two different things. Again, they say everybody is an extremist, right? Over embellishing stories, right? And when we understand the way the mind works, it's like, and it happens quite often, like when I'm with my mom and she'll be like, so-and-so, Shanice said hi and whatever. I'm like, Ma, I didn't say that. Stop lying. I didn't say that. I didn't say it that way. Shanice said, I didn't say it that way. Well, why? No, say exactly what I said. I did not say it that way. And we say it in a joking manner, but that's a perfect example of how when we regurgitate stories or what happened, if you will, it's like, no, really, it didn't happen that way. Like one of the things that assisted me most recently in the past 2 years when someone will say, I'll say, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that. Or you didn't send that to me. I learned to adjust my language where I don't put the fault on the other person. And instead of saying, you didn't tell me that, I'll say, I didn't hear that. That's not what I heard. Or I never received it. So there's a difference in me saying, you didn't send it or you didn't say that versus I never received it. And that, it's amazing how that shifts so many things because it changes from this to I didn't get it. I'm not saying you didn't send it. I didn't get it. I'm not saying you didn't say that. That's not what I heard though. So these are just little things to help us, right? Help us in who's showing up in relationships and how we're showing up. By thinking about what we're thinking about, realizing that class is always in session. There's always something to learn about ourselves. As I believe, it's never about the thing. It's what can you learn about the thing, right? It wasn't about you missing the train. It was about what can you learn about yourself and how you responded to missing the train. It's never about the thing. It's what can you learn about the thing. It's not about the relationship, the heartache. What did you learn about yourself as a result of the relationship and the heartache? beneath the surface development. All right, I'm about to chime out. However, does anybody just want to shout out a page number? Those of you who are on, anybody just want to shout out a page number for me to go to in the book before we chime out? If not, we can disconnect right now. And yet I'm going to give it a couple of seconds. If anybody just wants to shout out a page, like, go to page 202, Shanice. I mean, you wouldn't do that, right? You would type it. But anybody got a page number they want to shout out really quickly? I'm about to be out of here. I'm about to be out of here. Boop, boop. Page 7. Thank you, Liz. Oh, wait. Is there a page 7 in my book? Liz, page 7 is like the intro. That's like a whole page. That's the intro. Page 7 is the intro. Liz, I'm not reading all that. That's an intro. Give me another page. That's the intro to the book. So like I said, the intro is the best part. 17. What's up with you in that 7? What's up with that 7, Liz? All right, 17. I'm going to it right now. Thank you for playing team, Liz. All right, 17. $17, $2.17. All right, Liz, I got it. Stop it. No, I do not consciously choose to use what are known as curse words because I have a limited vocabulary. I do so as to get your attention. Next perception. Think. It does a life good. No such thing as free time. It's either spent or invested. People can't ride your back unless it's bent. Posture up. People always riding my back. Well, stand the fuck up then. Posture up. One should not apologize for asking another to think. That's still very true to this day. Like, mofos be upset that you want them to think before they come to you. Did you think about that first? Oh, you want me to do all the thinking? Damn shame. Real recognizes real and fake. We talk about this at the round table. Real recognizes real and fake. Fake isn't able to differentiate between the two. Now, that's why some people are like, I didn't know that person was that way, or how did this happen? Or they don't even realize they're around a whole bunch of, fabricated humans because they can't differentiate the two. Real can determine both because real at one point was fake. So therefore I can identify that in which I was. Right? Like a lot of people don't get that. Like I'm able to assist so many people in their bullshit because I recognize my own bullshit. I'm able to assist people with gossiping because I know what it is to gossip. I know what it is to assist people being petty because I know what it is to be petty. I know how to assist people with their money when they don't got nothing. I know what it is to not have any. Like it's reflections. So real is able to recognize real and fake. Fake isn't able to differentiate the difference. They don't even realize they're around fake people. They don't even know that they're around individuals that's not being their authentic self. It's like, how can you tell someone's not being their authentic self? Because authenticity can tell. Hello? But when you're not being authentic, you can't tell the difference. You can't even identify fake. You can't identify either one. I'm passionate about that perception. Obviously, that's one of the perceptions I still agree with. If you don't like the way your life is, change it. Yes, it really is that simple. It may not be that easy. However, it is that simple. It's an equation. It's an equation. It's just like a math equation. It may be hard, to guess, but it's an equation. It's simple. Doesn't mean that it's basically easy. I just went through this with Brother Mark the other day. He was like, "This is a small world." And this is the perception I still agree with. It's a small world. Well, I disagree. I believe that the world is actually very large. We are just all connected. So it's like, depending from where you look at, of course, if you look at it from the freaking galaxies, the world is small. But from our human perspective, where we're at, it's actually pretty freaking large. Do you know how many countries and continents and seas and that we have here, and zip codes and area codes? No, it's a pretty large world. But when we find us connecting with folks, it just means that we mad connected. Like, pay attention to those signs and symbols. What up, Tasha? My goodness. It's sad how many people wait until Friday to have a good time and enjoy life. Those who get on the Pasha call, I still agree with that perception. We wait till Friday to turn up. There's people on Monday that got plans for Friday. People on Tuesday that got plans for Friday that won't make it till Friday. It's like what a shame that is to wait for a day on the calendar that we may not even see. It's like I share with people that some people are just so happy about Thursday because it's one day closer to Friday. Mad disrespectful to Thursday. Mad disrespect. You don't even like Thursday. You're just happy because Thursday leads you closer to Friday. Yeah, what if you didn't live to make it to Friday? Like, damn, I should have been more appreciative on Thursday. Just something to consider. All right, last two. If it's against the law in some areas for cars to be left idling, for it pollutes the air within the community, what the heck do you think happens to a community when the minds within it adopt a life of idling? Shanisha always got something going on. There's always something going on. Consider you just don't have a lot going on, right? But idling, like, where does that get us? Right? If cars is against the law for cars to do it, what do you think about humans doing it? Last perception. For those who adhere to such a system. Okay, let me get this straight. We work for someone else who tells us how much our time is worth per hour or year, how often we can be sick per year, and when we can go on vacation, and we think we are free. Someone please pass out some dictionaries for the holidays this year. Let me turn the page. That perception wasn't done. Asking another to have access to our time seems unconstitutional to me. I'm just saying. But eyes are free. Eyes free. Eyes free, girl. Eyes free. Eyes free. But I can't take off from work. Eyes free, but I gotta make sure I adjust my calendar around my job schedule. Eyes free. Again, I've been there. But again, the key is not for you to say whether or not you agree with my perceptions or if you like them. I just encourage you to utilize them as a trigger and a mirror for you to do your own self-inspection and life analysis. And just think. Right? Just think. Or not. Or not. These are mere suggestions. All right, I'm done. This is the being known as Shanice Star officially chiming out from another episode of Perceptions Live. Peace, love, and light.